Yeah, namaskar everyone. Okay, today we are going to use just a session on sadhana only, just to demonstrate some of the steps. Because I believe if I just make some videos in order, it's going to be a problem. So let us take a quick glance. Okay, last week I did mention, I mean, that in the first class, the purpose of yoga or the interpretation of the tradition, specifically the tradition of Tantra, which I belong to, which the school of Ananda Marga belongs to. So it says that yoga is a union of Jivatma and Paramatma, union of two entities. Okay, put it in a more simple term, it's a union of the unit consciousness. We call it unit consciousness with a cosmic consciousness, microcosm and macrocosm. Okay, so you can't understand macrocosm, you can try to understand microcosm, which is you. You are one form of microcosm in this universe. When I wake up. So why some people are giving some entertainment? Can you please mute your videos? Sorry, your audios. I'm hearing some stuff. Back to all life forms. Microorganism, plants, animals, humans. All these are from microcosm. Okay, in fact, you are a mini universe. Okay, especially in a human form, you can see that. In fact, I told you last week. Okay, so you are a god. You yourself are a god because you have countless cells in your body. Each cell has a mind. Your mind can influence those minds. Okay, suppose a person has a cancer, contract cancer. If that person accept it as the ultimate, okay, I contracted cancer, this is my destiny, I'm going to die. And what will happen is all the cells in your body will accept that and stop fighting. It's like the commander in battle gives the instruction not to fight. Okay? Similarly, if you decide to fight, all the cells will receive the message. That's at a mental level. Each cell also has its own soul. Your soul is the most powerful of all. Okay. So now you apply the same concept at macrocosm level. So there's one soul, universal soul, controlling, witnessing all of you. Okay. That's the concept. Now, talking about understanding microcosms, you have to work on yourself. Okay. So the problem is when you look at this body, mind, and spirit, so you understand the language of the body gets hungry, the body gets tired, the body needs what do you call it? It needs nourishment, it needs rest. Okay, and after certain age, after your glands start to develop, the body is also crave for sexuality and so on. So body, okay, everything about the body is very objective, and all medical science. Okay, that's why they don't believe anything beyond the body. Even though psychologically, the school of psychology believes there's mind. Okay, and the school of parapsychology, which they call as a pseudoscience, okay, they start to work on the soul level, but the mainstream science don't accept it. Okay, so body, so mind is mind and spirit. So in meditation, so you're gonna work for a beginner or anybody in the beginning or in the system of yoga. The easier path to understand your own self is to work with the body and mind. Okay, so the steps of meditation that I introduced the previous week. So first you work with the body, you develop a steady posture. A steady posture will result in a steady mind. Then in mind itself, so you have subjective and objective mind. So the subjective mind consists of your I consciousness and your ego consciousness. And the objective mind is the mind which deals with your external world and also internally. Conscious, subconscious, unconscious. This is the objective mind. And our yoga, you're going to work with the body You have conscious, subconscious, unconscious. Okay? I simplified it. Okay? That's all. That's all you have to remember. So you can forget about Mr. Universal Consciousness of God or even your soul. Okay, you don't see the soul yet. You just work on this. Okay, so the entire 8 limbs, you're just working on this. So any question on this so far? Is it clear? You have to be very clear about it. Okay, means last week I said another term I use in Sanskrit. The term is chitta. Okay, so chitta is the your objective mind. Okay, chitta is the consciousness. That is the consciousness which is active in you. Right? So you have to work on that. So any question on this? You can ask me now. Okay, because this is not like very rigid, because I'm going to stop the slide later to give you the demonstration. So any question, no question, we shall move on. So no, okay, maybe you can ask me at the end. All right. So you see the system of sadhana, see the last week, in conclusion, without sadhana, there is no yoga. So in the school of Ananda Marga, we offer 3 types of, there are 4 form of practices. Okay, all this is based on the 8 limb. So first they call Prarambik yoga or beginner's yoga. This comprises of 2 lessons. In Sadharana yoga, it's a practice with 5 lessons. In Sahaj yoga, it's a practice with 7 lessons. Okay, I'm a practitioner of the 3rd. Okay, and Vishesh yoga, which is more advanced form. So not many people they will learn because they need to spend not less than 2 hours per sitting. Okay, like Sahaj yoga, you spend from 1 hour to 1.5 hours per sitting. Okay, any beginner can get access to Prarambik yoga. Okay, you can start from there and progressively, because from Prarambik to Sadharana yoga to Sahaj yoga, so it requires more commitment. Okay, more commitment and also time. Okay, and also the other regulations, the dietary control and all that is required. Third, on the 3rd item, the first 2, you are more relaxed. Right. So that is just to give you an idea. So in Ananda Marga school, anybody before they take up those practices, their mind will be assessed. You know how your mind is receptive for the practice. So sometimes for kids above 5 years old to 12 years old, they will give a preliminary practice. And 12 years onwards, they can take the first Prarambik yoga. And then by 16, they can take up the Sadharana yoga. Right? So any preliminary practice also will be given by the Acharya who teach meditation. So I have devised a system to prepare you to take up the practice. You know, if you ever get initiated, if you really decides to take up the practice eventually. Okay? It is our school, that's how it. Any school which use 8 limbs, okay, the system will work. Okay. Right. So back to what I said last week. Sadhana means sustained effort, means effort. So people say, I'm going to do meditation. So you are not going to do meditation. You're actually going to do sadhana. Okay. So why you have to do sadhana? Because you see earlier, body, mind, and spirit. So we are working on body and mind. So you already train your body in a certain way, you already train your mind in a certain way. In fact, the mind is training you. The mind is actually controlling you. Because you have let it go loose. It's just like you have given the power of attorney to your clock. And then the clock begin to take charge of everything in your life. So mind is like a clock. You have empowered the clock. So you use your subconscious mind to do most of your action. So you develop programs after programs and programs. So it becomes a permanent memory. Okay. So in the language of yoga, they call it samskara. So you all erroneously you all used to call it karma. This is my karma. That is, it's no karma. Karma is fresh action. So now I'm talking to you. That is karma. Okay. So how you understand what I said to you? So that is the reaction. Okay. Like if I throw a ball, it wants go to hit the wall and bouncing back. So the action of the other one, the result of bouncing back is the reaction of original karma. That is called samskara. In Sanskrit. For you to understand, you can let's say it's an unconscious memory. Okay? It's an unconscious pattern in your, it's an unconscious pattern, a pattern in your unconscious mind, which motivates you to do certain action, many action that you don't know why you are doing it. Like you meet somebody, you decide to marry that person. Then you say, we are soulmates. You met somewhere else, the heaven, and dated. It's not a soulmate, you have made a connection in this very earth earlier. Okay, or any other thing like that. So usually you see somebody, you don't like the person. Okay, maybe you don't want to believe the connection. That is parapsychology. In terms of science, they say the study of the connection between life between many lives is parapsychology. So if you don't want to believe in that, so try to analyze why you do certain things in life. So is it because somebody programmed you like you're programming the Terminator? If you have seen the movie Terminator, okay? So did your parents put some disc in your brain or something for you to do certain things, for you to study medicine later, or for you to become what do you call an engineer or businessman? Something is there in your unconscious mind. Some pattern is there. It's getting expressed continuously, right? And you have to reorient. So meditation, or the practice of yoga. So one of the important things that happens when you take up yoga for your self-improvement is personality reorientation. So for that, you need to understand how the mind works, how the conscious, subconscious, and unconscious. You have to study it. All right. So last week I said I shared about 3 steps: asana, pranayama, pratyahara, and since I'm already conducting this session, so the 4th step I'm going to introduce today. Okay. All right. So this is actually part of your practice where you have to train yourself. Okay. Continuously. That is sadhana. So just to introduce, so asana means. So last week I said asana in this course. So we're going to focus on the pose for meditation. Okay. Meditative pose. For example, lotus posture, Pathmanathan, Siddhasana, Swastikasana, okay, Sukhasana. Let's see if you. Okay, I'll come back later. Okay, let me finish the slide. Okay, so one of the most important aspects of sadhana is adopting a steady and firm posture. Right? You regulate the breathing, withdrawing the awareness, okay, the external and fixing your physical point. Right? So it means you have trained yourself to go outward. If you want to take up sadhana, if you want to take up practice of yoga, so the mind which is going outside, or your consciousness which is being externalized through your mind and senses, you have to bring it back inside. So for that, you have to develop a steady posture. Then you have to regulate the breathing. Why regulating the breath, okay, or regulating the breathing is important is because breathing is connected to your subconscious mind. Okay? The slower the breath, the calm, the mind will be more calm. That is the connection. So on average, people have 15 to 18 cycle of breathing in every minute. So a person who's an adept in yogic practice will slow it down to 10 to 12 and even less than 10. But as a yogic practitioner, you are not supposed to focus on that. Or don't every day don't use your stopwatch and see how many. That happens gradually over time. And most people it is 15 to 18. And the number of breathing determines your lifespan as well, according to science. Right. So last week again I said asana should be firm. Stiram sukham asana means posture should be steady, and while doing the posture you should feel pleasant. Okay. So that is the concept of asana, according to the Yoga Sutra. Okay. So you shouldn't adopt a posture which makes you unpleasant. So if you're, if you're under constant discomfort with the posture, you won't be able to concentrate, right? So when you're already pleasant and steady, and then you're not supposed to move the body. Stira means you're not supposed to move the body. You don't sit 10 or 15 minutes and shake the body every now and then. That is not sthira. Sthira means like you decide 10 minutes, 15 minutes, do not shake the body. Okay? Right. So all the various asana I will demonstrate shortly. It's just illustration. First one, Pathmanathan. Second one is the half lotus. Third one is accomplished posture. Fourth one is swastikasana. It's a variation of asana. And then the sukhasana. So if you have other difficulty, some constraint or whatever, you can sit on a chair. See, even a Kung Fu master sitting on the chair. Okay. It's not less heroic sitting on the chair. Okay. So you must remember the ultimate objective is more important. Okay, but if you're young and if you're capable of flexing your muscles and all that, so you better adopt a proper posture. All right. Okay. Now we have this pranayama. Okay. So when you take up the more systematic and formal practice, you will learn all this pranayama and other category of nadi shodhan and all that. It has specific purpose. Do not learn all those practice, those procedure of studies and all that. Do not learn all these from YouTube or book. Okay. You make any mistake. Pranayama is an effective practice. Yes, very important. So very dangerous. Okay. If you have high blood pressure, you won't practice some of this pranayama seen from YouTube or book. Okay, for a patient, a person with hyper blood pressure, so it's very dangerous, right? And you're not supposed to hold the breath. They can do certain type of pranayama, but not holding the breath. Okay, so here I will introduce a simple pranayama called Ujjayi pranayama. It's simple and effective. Okay, so in Ujjayi, what you need to do is you have to take deep breathing. Just breathe without. Okay. So I said that the focus is the navel point. Focus on the navel point, breathing, pull. Okay, in your mind, just pull it up. Okay, up to this point. Breathe out, go down from here to the navel. Okay. See, the method is simple. See, like you breathe in and breathe out. Okay, the air is there. You don't bother about the air. So what you need to do, see, like before there are 2 points. Let's imagine there's a tube. It's connecting your navel and your this Agya chakra or the midpoint of your eyebrow. So when you breathe in, you imagine that you are mentally, in your imagination, you are moving from the navel to the Agya chakra, this midpoint of eyebrow. Then as you breathe out, you take a very simple, relaxed breathing. So you breathe out slowly, but you don't. Your awareness is from the Agya chakra back to the navel. Somebody asked. Annalashmi is asking whether breathing is through nose, no mouth, or inhalation, exhalation, everything through the nose only. Okay. So you breathe in deeply. So in your imagination, you are moving from navel to Agya chakra. In exhalation, again you are moving from Agya to the navel. All right. So can you all try this for a moment and see whether it's working?
Mr. Padma, that means we are visualizing, right? That
yes,
is going
exactly. You close your eyes and visualizing. Yes.
All right.
Yep. And that will become natural over time. Don't worry. It's not like every time you have to think about it like that. You get used to it. Okay. So this is the practice. After you develop, adopt a steady posture. So the first thing. So and before that, go and take a bath. Whenever you practice, it's better after bathing, is because you'll be fresh. Okay. If you can't bathe for any reason, so at least wash your feet from the knee down, the elbow, and at least wash your face. Okay? Because water has an effect to refresh you, right? Okay, I will just give sequence again, right? So you just do these 3 to 7 times, and you will start to feel more relaxed. That is the purpose of this. The first time, in the first round. Then the most feared part is coming. Okay, I received a lot of calls. The last since Saturday night is the rotation of awareness. Okay. So in the 8 lanes, I mentioned about Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara. Okay. Yama, Niyama, the first lesson on Yama, I will elaborate on coming Saturday. Okay, and we'll continue. And so in along the way, for every of this aspect, Pratyahara, okay, I think I'm done with asana, the concept of asana, Stiram Sukham asana. So we also need some explanation, more elaborate explanation about the concept of Pratyahara and also about Pranayama. Okay. So here, so what is Pratyahara? Okay. I'll say it again. This word was formed from 2 words. Prati, Ahara. Prati means to reverse. Ahara means food. Literally means food. So in yogic concept, Ahara refers to, all right. Okay, excuse me. So somebody is asking, do I need to hold the breath at Agya point? No, you don't have to hold. No holding. Just natural breathing. Is just that this breathing, Ujjayi, you are becoming conscious of your breathing. Okay. So Mr. Wong is asking, breathing, add to your navel, but mind focus for them. No, your air will come out through your nostril as usual. Okay, so I'm not disturbing with your natural system, right? But your focus, your awareness is when you breathe in, you just imagine that you are just moving from navel to Agya Chakra slowly. Okay, and when you finish your inhalation, so you will be touching the Agya Chakra. And when you finish, when you're going to exhale, you start to move from Agya to navel. So in a way, the mental movement is synchronized with your breathing. Okay, I hope it's clear. Now back to Pratyahara. So Prati Ahara. So Ahara means food. What you eat, what you ingest through your mouth is food. What you see in your eyes is food. What you hear is food. What you smell is food. All is you gather. So you gather, become part of your consciousness. When it is processed, some of this becomes your memory, short-term memory. It will be usually flushed out at night through subconscious dreaming. I use specifically the term subconscious dreaming because there are 2 types of dreaming: subconscious dreaming and unconscious dreaming. Okay? Unconscious dreaming is usually to send you some message. Yeah. So Dr. Catherine gave a comment here. I think we breathe normally, but we visualize it moving them. Yes, correct. You are correct, Catherine.
Thank you.
Correct. Okay. But anyway, don't worry. Even after this session, if you are not sure, you can contact me. Okay. So I said, as long as you don't disturb me when I go to sleep, right? So now, okay, Pratyahara, okay. So before I go back again, all of you, are you clear about the breathing? Once and for all?
Clear, sir, clear.
Hello?
Yeah, clear.
Yeah. Okay, clear. Okay. So now, okay. So there's another question in chat. Okay. All right. So Pratyahara, so I see. So all the information that you collect from the world. Okay, so the conscious mind connects with your senses, it takes the information, it's recorded through the subconscious mind, and if there's a repeated pattern, it goes to the unconscious. Okay, and now you have become something. Okay, and you are being defined by your action and reaction. This is the truth. Okay, that's why you don't know your subjective mind. At the inner level, your ego, at a subtler level, you don't know about your ego. You don't know about your, what you call, your I, the original I consciousness. What to speak about the soul? The soul is much deeper inside, right? So this consciousness chitta, it carries a lot of reaction of your original action. So it's becoming like a load. Okay, like you are traveling, you have a lot of baggage, some with a trolley, okay, or maybe some other people also carrying for you. So how fast can you move if you have a lot of baggage with you? Just like that, a lot of karma with you. I mean, karma in here, I mean, it's a wrong term, samskara or reaction in potential. If you have that, you can't go, you can't succeed in the practice of meditation. Oh, the progress of your meditation will be very slow. Most of the time you get frustrated. You close your eye, you cannot concentrate. And of course, because you've got a lot of reaction in your reaction in potential, and you never train the mind to look inward. So pratyahara is a practice to train yourself to look inward. Okay. So one of the steps here, body scanning. So rotation of consciousness. So the rotation of consciousness will actually improve your concentration. Okay, and the various part that you do, the 61 point is connected to your brain, so it induces deep relaxation, and the points are also connected with your pranic system. Okay, right. So the 61 Dharma points. Okay, this is from some ancient text called Vasistha Samhita. So you have to rotate your awareness. Okay. Okay, now, so what you do here, so okay, so like you see the heart center, the midpoint center, you have 27, 29, 31, 59. It doesn't mean that those points are the various. No, it's the same point because you're gonna go there again and visit that point 4 times. That's why it's there, right? So I will just brief you about these points. So the first one is at a midpoint of your eyebrow, the Akya chakra. And you will always, so the next point that you have to visit, so you have the sequence. Okay, sorry, I've not shared the slides in the WhatsApp group. Okay, I'll share it. So you have this from here, then you move to the right shoulder. And there's a point there, and then you move to the wrist, sorry, the elbow point, then to the wrist, then to all the fingers, the tip of fingers. Then you come back to the wrist, the elbow point to the shoulder, then come back again. Oh, sorry, from forehead you go to the throat first, you go down, then come back to the throat. From the throat, you go to the left, repeat the same process. Shoulder point, elbow, wrist, all the tip of fingers. Coming back, okay, to the point of elbow. Okay, this on the left side. Then the shoulder, again come back to the throat center. And again from here, it goes to the heart center, the middle, point of chest on the right, okay, and then on the left. So on the right, then it comes back to the middle, again to the left, and then come back to the middle. Then it goes to the navel. Okay. And the last point, see, it is the point below the navel point is parallel with your pelvic bones. So the one in the middle will be just at above the pubic bone there, okay, somewhere there. So you go at that point, then you move to the right hand side, at the hip there. Then you go down to the right knee, right ankle, and the tip of all of those. Coming back, come back to, when you return to the ankle, right ankle to the knee, back to the hip, back to the middle, the left hip, the left knee, left ankle, all the tip of those. Then again we reverse the ankle, the knee, the hip, then coming back to the middle. Okay. So you see, after coming back to the middle of the hip point, then the next you have to move to the navel, to the heart center, to the throat center, and to the body. So here, this last 4 points, you do it slowly. Just do it slowly, relax and do it slowly until you come to the point. Right? So any question?
How long should this whole process take?
You take your own time. You have to relax. You cannot rush this. See? This is to train your mind. So now you see you're actually looking inward, you're cutting your connection, and then you're actually practicing awareness. You're practicing body awareness, you see. It's rotation of awareness in your body. Okay. The purpose is to withdraw. Okay. So you have to do it as slowly as possible.
So if let's say there's any pain on the points, what should we need to do?
Hello?
Yes, sir. So
Yeah.
if I have any pain on the points you was mentioning, right? So what anything we can do for doing anything for?
See. So how intense is the pain?
Like this when we are going for the point, right? Sometimes we have the knee pain or either the toes pain or something. So on that part,
you mean okay, let me get it clearly. So you mean when you concentrate you feel pain at a point?
Yes, sometimes yes, it is.
Okay, if the pain is not intense, just let it. I think it's something about because of the energy block there.
Okay.
So just carry on, right?
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Okay, I think there's another question here. How many times to do this? Okay, how many times? Okay, this rotation. Okay, first you try. So first you identify the points. Try to finish first time. Okay, and ideally you do it 2 to 3 times. Okay, if your mind is very high, means high not being drunk. I mean high in the sense that it's naturally withdrawn to go to be meditative. You just do it 1 time. Okay, but if you what do you call I mean you do it relaxedly and then you feel that you can concentrate and continue to the next practice, then you carry on. Okay, so it's up to you. So if your mind is very restless, then only you have to repeat. Okay, and then there's another thing, you may drift away. So while doing this, sometimes you're at a particular point, maybe your mind got distracted. So never mind, just carry on. If you have to repeat, you repeat it again. So suppose you lost track at which point, so then you have to go back from your original point. All right. See the few questions here. How many times? Okay, so I already answered this. We do this rotation while maintaining a steady. So don't bother about your breathing. You focus on the point. Okay. And then so that was the question from Ms. Anpumalan. So don't worry about breathing. So you just focus on the point. No, it's front side, it's no back side. So Mr. Wang's question, never ever focus on the back side, only on the front side. Okay. All right. This question from Ms. Shanti. Yeah, you adopt the any of the posture. Padmasana and Siddhasana is not for female. Okay, I'll come back to the asana. So it has to be an asana. Okay, it has to be a meditative posture. Okay, I mean, except those who cannot sit down, you have to sit on the chair. All right. Okay, any other question? So before I move to the next step. Right. Very good students. All right. So the Marma points here. So you will set it then. So after you complete the rotation, so again you repeat the Ujjayi Pranayama. Okay. Go back. Repeat a few times and get relaxed. Okay. So as per the last week's lesson, so you have to stop from here. So the fourth aspect is just like you're going on the, suppose you're flying for a bird, you fly above a sea, suddenly you get tired. So you'll be looking for an island. Okay, just like that. So in meditation, you cannot leave your mind without a support. Okay. So there are many systems of meditation. So for example, in the Buddhist school, there's a meditation called Vipassana. Vipassana, there's no mantra, there's no concentration, just witness the consciousness. It's one method. So in Tantra, one type of tantric meditation, which our school practices, we always use mantra as a way of diverting your mind, gives a proper direction to your mind. Okay, right? So there is a what do you call that? So the reason why mantra is being utilized. Okay? See, what happens is that most of the time we think, right? So on an average, you generate about 50,000 thoughts per hour in your waking hour. So just multiply by the number of your waking hours. Okay. And most of these thoughts are toxic and you tend to repeat 90% of it the next day. So that's why the pattern of your life never change. Okay. In Tamil, there's a saying, they say, Yannam pol valvai, you live by your thoughts. Yeah, this is it. Okay. So it's important to have that the quality of your thoughts should be good, should be positive. Okay? So in meditation, so you have to take a positive power. So here, ideation. Okay, mantra means every mantra has an idea, just like every word has a meaning, right? So here, we will introduce as a mantra as a preliminary practice. Okay, suppose you get initiated into one of the systems, so you get a personal mantra. Okay, personal mantra means which suits your vibes. Okay, I will go into that in another lesson. Okay, but any beginner they can take up a practice. Even some you may read some book in meditation. They will say, "I am that I am." You know, they repeat an English mantra. Oh, I am peaceful. Oh, I am I am positive. Something like that. You'll see. You come across this. They say, "I am that I am." Like that. Okay. So we have that in Sanskrit. Okay? So this here I'm going to introduce a mantra. Okay, the mantra is Shivoham. Okay. So here Shiva comes from the word Shiva, but here Shiva is not a deity. Shiva means consciousness. Shiva means soul, higher self. So Shivoham means you. Shiva means the consciousness. So Shivoham means I am consciousness. Okay. I am the universal consciousness. So this mantra, so you have to synchronize with your breathing. So you already, like the previous step, so you already trained to do this Vijay Pranayama. So here, but when you start this, the fourth step of ideation of power, so you concentrate at this point. As you breathe in, you mentally repeat Shiva. As you breathe out, you repeat Ham. Shiva, Ham. Shiva, Ham. So basically you're bombarding a new idea in your mind. So, okay, basically you're giving a new idea, a new direction to the mind. So this will tranquilize your mind. Okay. In fact, it will help you to first stabilize the subconscious mind, and to even with this practice, you can actually unfold the unconscious. You can, if you put your effort, if you practice continuously and sincerely. Right. So the purpose of mantra is to engage the mind with an activity, because your mind is always engaged with some thoughts. Okay. So with the preliminary practice of asana, pranayama, and the pratyahara, the mind already relaxed, become less restless. And then only you have to, it's just like the water is coming from all directions. You already managed to, like building a dam, you brought the all the thoughts into a singular flow, and then you channel it to the mantra. Okay, and the mantra will pull you to the unconscious. right? So meditation is basically a process of transcendence. You know, transcend the body, transcend the mind. So mind is not just like one go. You cannot do that. You know, so the mind is like an onion. You have to peel it. So last week I mentioned pancha kosha. So you have to peel the first one, the conscious, second, subconscious. Then in unconscious, you have the supramental mind. Then the fourth, the subliminal mind. The last one, subtle causal. Before you can touch the soul, right? So the bhava or the ideation of mantra will steady the mind and assist you in unfolding that process. So any question on this? Question? Right. So you don't worry. So you don't have to rush. Okay. So you can just focus on developing the posture, breathing, and the Dharma point. You know? So if you're not steady yet with this, you wait before you add the fourth step. Okay. How long is the whole process? Okay. Again, it's up to you. See, to me, how long it will take for the water to become ice? Anybody? You put water in the fridge. Will you get an ice cube within 5 minutes or 10 minutes? How long it will take? Can anybody answer me? How long it takes for an ice, water to become ice, an ice cube?
It's depend on the room temperature also. So
Yeah, so I'm talking about putting it in the fridge. Yeah? In the fridge.
in the fridge, normally around 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay. So there's a science behind it, right? So similarly, the mind which is very restless. Okay. For it, if you're really serious about doing the sadhana, you have to really devote some time, you know, out of 24 hours. So I suggest a beginner who have no experience. I believe Mr. Wong, I think you are quite experienced with this. Okay. Okay, you can spend not less than half an hour. Okay. But any beginner in this program, I suggest 15 to 20 minutes. So you can, adopting your posture doesn't matter because the posture is there. Just sit and then you can do your breathing a few minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Then start with your rotation. That takes about 5 minutes, for example. Okay, less than that. Okay, because the rotation of consciousness, you can actually make it longer. You know, you can actually make it more deeper. For example, you can imagine like a golden light at this point. Then to make it easier, you imagine the golden light, or you like any other color. You can use emerald green. Emerald green is a very relaxing color. Okay, so you imagine that the ball of the emerald green is moving to the throat, then moving here. So that's one way of visualizing, right? For example, I'm supposed to tell this next week, but because I want you to be familiar with the point. So it's a question from Ms. Rubini. Ideally twice a day, you know, because you do a lot of things. You're eating about 4 times. Or some people they eat every 1 hour. Okay. Okay. At least twice a day. If you care, but if you have many excuse, be a human being with a lot of excuse. But for the participant of this program, at least one time out of 24 hours, you fix that one time and never fail in that. Okay, but ideally, if you can do 2 times, it's best. In our school, if if they receive initiation in the system, they are twice a day. Auspicious time is what is auspicious for you. Okay, when there's a question from someone here, any auspicious of him? No. Any time that you choose is auspicious. Okay, maybe you are asking about Brahma Muhurta, I think. All right. Yes, it's ideal if you do your practice at 5 o'clock in the morning, at 3 o'clock in the morning. Shiva Muhurta is 3 o'clock, Brahma Muhurta at 5 o'clock. Okay, but just don't worry. Okay, make sure you get plenty of sleep, but don't sleep for 10 hours. Wake up, start the practice first, right? You can practice just before sunrise, half an hour. It's okay. right? And then once you gain momentum, you can try to fix a time like 5 o'clock is good because of certain changes in the vibration at that time is a bit different. Okay, I think if there's no other questions, I'm going to stop sharing this just to demonstrate some what do you call a posture. Right? So can you all see? So I think so. I'm going to have some challenges now. Okay, so the simplest, the first posture which I'm going to demonstrate here is that the Pathmanathan. Okay. So each left foot, right foot on the thigh. Okay, so hand position either you put interlock like this or like this. You don't put the right hand down, put the left hand. Okay. Okay, because the right hand, even the mudra has a a different effect. See, Buddha used to do this mudra. That is if you want to become a renunciate. Okay, so make sure the left palm is down. All right. You can even do this like a dhyani mudra. Okay, like this. You can even lock like this. Right. So the other posture, the perfected posture of Siddhasana. So the left ankle, left heel go down. The position of Muladhara Chakra on the base of the spine. Okay. And the second heel goes to right above it, and both of your ankle will be touching. So this is the Siddhasana, okay, or perfected posture. Okay. So again, your hand position is like this. Right. So Siddhasana is not for females; it's only for males. Okay. So a variation of the Siddhasana, instead of placing the heel at the base of the spine, just put it at the inner thigh, at both sides. Okay. So the most important thing is the Stiram Sukhasana. The posture has to be steady, right? And if you cannot do Padmasana, you can do half lotus. Okay, just put the right foot or the other one, left foot you want to put on the left thigh, it's like that. The last one is the simple cross leg posture or Sukhasana. Okay, so try one of those. Right. There's a question. Let me. Okay. All right. Let me see if there's any other question in the chat. Okay. Well, it's only 15 minutes. Okay, now time for question. Or else I'll stop.
Mr. Padma,
Yes.
can you say something about this so-called Chin Mudra we always see in the movies?
A Chin Mudra.
Chin Mudra.
A Chin Mudra,
Yeah.
see,
Thank you.
this has connected to your pineal gland, this higher chakra. But this mudra, only when somebody teach you to do a specific lesson, then only you do use it. Okay, everybody likes to do like this, So Chin Mudra is because you see when you open. So why a beginner is being advised, even advanced meditator, why they were asked to interlock the fingers sitting like this? Because you will be locking your energy. You don't allow the energy from outside to disturb you. So in Ananda Marga Sadhana, for example, like one of the higher lessons, you open the palm. But you will never do this in the outside, right? That particular lesson you have to be only to be done when you are alone, okay, and not when you are in the public. So practice with the Chin Mudra. You should do if you learn up any particular kriya or any particular system of meditation where the guru teach that. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay. So today I think everyone is very clear about everything. Okay, last call.
Mr. Padma, you'll be sharing the slides in the group.
Yes. Which is the best? Is it by email or to the group?
Either would do. Either is fine.
Yeah. So I'm not so comfortable sharing the slide in the group because I think people will, a lot of memories will be taken from your phone. Anyway, but I think nowadays people like that. People don't like to check emails nowadays. They prefer WhatsApp. So I'll share in the group. All right. So any question regarding the 61 point of the rotation? Okay. No issue, huh?
Hi Padma, so Siva here. Is it by heart that we need to remember these points, or we can just by assume that these are the
Okay. Of course, you have to memorize, and then it's not difficult to memorize. Okay. There's another disclaimer. Okay. So there are people who practice Ananda Marga sadhana in this group. Okay. So you don't have to do this 61 point for your practice. Okay.
Okay.
Because you have your lesson. Okay. Basically, this method I devised is a miniature form just for an introduction for a beginner. So people, those who have learned Ananda Marga sadhana, so you have your Buddha Shuddhi, Asana Shuddhi, Siddha Shuddhi. Just focus on that. Okay. Right. So you have to do the principle is the same. Okay. But just like Shiva asked the question just now, you can use the 61 point for Ananda Margis. You can do the 61 point rotation of awareness for Yoga Nidra. You lie down in Savasana. You do deep breathing. You do the 61 point exercise for relaxation. All right. Otherwise, you don't change any of your meditation routine, any of your lesson. Okay. But you can add the Ujjayi Pranayama before you begin your Shuddhi. All right. I hope I'm very clear about this.
I practiced this 2 days ago, so I'm lying down and doing this practice with 61 points. I feel like more energetic. I feel like more fresh once I wake up.
It is, yes, because you're going to all those marma points. Okay. It actually release energy blocks and all that. Yes, it's a very good practice.
Okay.
All right. And also while relaxing, you tend to actually, anyway, I'm not going to teach Yoga Nidra in this program. So that is another thing. By practicing this, does the chakras get activated? So, okay, the students in this class, okay, let me tell you, don't worry about chakra, kundalini and all those things, right? The chakras are there. When the sadhana related to chakra is not introduced to you, don't worry about it, okay? The chakras are actually energy system, okay? It is connected to your glands. Physically, it is connected to the glands. It is there, right? And some chakras are active or inactive, But when you practice something in the beginning, just in yoga, it is very important. People like to, because now the information is available through Google and all that. And everybody likes to say, I think my heart chakra is more developed. Oh, I think my throat chakra is some problem. See, all these are nonsense. Okay. People like to imagine it's like coffee shop talk, talking about chakra, even talking about samadhi and all that. Right? So be very careful. Just ignore anything that you know about chakra. Okay. Even if you go and read all these articles and all that, you will see hundreds, hundreds of different kind of diagram of chakra. Okay, in one illustration, the Manipur chakra will have a triangle facing down. In another, it will be a triangle going upward. Okay, so a lot of people releases this kind of diagram to mislead you, right? So be careful. All right, see, there's some question here. Once or twice a day. Okay. Sir, should you fast before this? No. Okay, for meditation, so 2 hours, at least 2 hours before your practice. Okay, last meal should be 2 hours. If it is a light meal, 1.5 hours is okay. Even 1 hour, if it's a very light meal, maybe just a drink. Okay, if you take a heavy meal, it take 3 times to digest, and while your food is being digested, you cannot concentrate. All your blood flow will be rushed to your digestive system, and you will feel sleepy. You won't be able to concentrate. All right, so ideally 2 hours.
Mr. Padma, I have a question.
Yeah.
What you have been teaching us is more for a meditative reason, isn't it? But if we do the marma points during Shavasana, that is more for relaxation, right?
Yes.
It's not for a meditative purpose. Huh?
Okay. You see, when you do marma point in the relaxation, so it's for relaxation. So when you use it for meditation, you prepare yourself for pratyahara. In fact, yoga nidra is a pratyahara practice. Okay. The visualization we do in the marma point is called nyasa. Okay, in the language of yoga, nyasa means you become aware of your body parts. It's the same practice. It's just that yoga nidra, for the ultimate goal of yoga nidra is relaxation and to be self-aware. Okay, and in meditation, the goal is to go for samadhi. That's the thing.
Thank you.
Yeah. So there's another question. For beginners, we don't sit on the proposed asana for a long time. Okay, it's okay. First, you try to, Ms. Robini, you try to sit at the, let's say you can sit for 10 minutes. Okay, fine. Okay. Then when you experience leg cramp, yeah, you can change your posture. For example, it doesn't matter. But in the long run, you have to develop the posture to be steady for a long period. So when I started, when I was 18 years old, I could not sit the lotus posture more than 20 minutes. Okay. Then slowly, gradually, I increased the 20 minutes to 1 hour. Okay. It comes by practice. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. I think I've answered all questions. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Okay, for participating in this session. I'll see you on Saturday. Okay, and remember your commitment to this program, is it? Try to be, not try, be early. And yeah, if you have any doubts, okay, you can text me. Okay, you can text me. I will share the slides today's and also and some of you here could not join the earlier practice because you registered late or you misunderstood something. Okay, so we will share the recording of the first lesson. Right, I think they're working on it. Okay, all right. Okay, thank you very much and namaskar.